Yes, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. YouTube, كيف الحال يا YouTube? How are we doing, YouTube? Brothers and sisters in Islam. That's kind of like a mix between Arab and flipping Dagestani. I mean, let me just IG this thing real quick. We are live on YouTube and I have improved broadcast quality, everybody. As you can see, it's very improved. I hope you appreciated the improved quality. Make sure you subscribe, like, share video. What's going on, guys? How we doing? كيف حالكما? How is everybody doing? We have very interesting live today. Today we have very interesting live. Actually, we do have a good live lined up, inshallah. And I am gonna open up the lines. Bismillah. I will open up the lines for you guys to call in, inshallah. I've invested in some upgraded kit, hence the improved quality. I hope you guys are enjoying it. There's more to come, inshallah ta'ala. You know what? Yeah, shout out to all the YouTubers who are streaming like HD and all of that. It's a mission, bruv. It's a mission. I know this picture looks like quite clean right now. There's not much going on in the background, but there is just chaos and mess all around me. Wires left, right, and center. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by what you see on this YouTube stuff. Like, it's just absolute chaos, bruv. Like, khair, inshallah. Right, let's do a couple of shouts to begin with. Husnain, what's going on, bro? Mushi, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, habibi. Ali Dawa versus Mahdi Dawa tube boxing. Nah, man, I wouldn't want to do that to him, akhi. That's not fair. That's not fair. I wouldn't want to do that to our brother Ali Dawa. That's just not fair. It's just no. It's not fair, guys. It's not fair. Improved where? You are very rude, brother. You are very rude. Can't you see improved picture quality? I'm still looking into this stupid wrong cam. I'm still looking into the webcam on my Mac. I need to be looking here into the Elgato cam that way. Yeah. So when I bring you guys on, I'll be looking into that, inshallah ta'ala. So I'll put this here. Don't worry, we're going to be improving this slowly. I haven't been taking this streaming thing seriously, to be honest. But I need to start doing that because it makes a difference. It really does make a difference. Samad, shout out to you, Habibi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Ben, yes, Ben is the man. And you know what? Let me just give a shout out to Ben. Jazakallahu khair. All of this improved picture quality and all the rest of it is off the back of our brother Ben's recommendations. And actually, Ben, which I haven't actually shared the video he sent me a fantastic cold message. Never spoken to the brother before. He's a social media manager, and his video was so brilliant, so brilliantly put, that I decided, you know what, let me have a chat with the brother, inshallah. 24 hours later, brother Ben is in charge of my YouTube channel with regards to content, taking content and thumbnails and titles and all sorts. And it's an excellent example of a brilliant cold outreach. So shout out to brother Ben. Jazakallah khair, akhi. This improved setup is off the back of all of your recommendations. Jazakallahu kulli khair, habibi. So yeah, if you want your social media stuff handled, get in touch with brother Ben. But I know that he does have a waiting list. He has and his hands are full, and he's good. Allahumma barak. He's good. All right. Yes, shout out to Ben. Exactly. Ben with the W. That's right. Brother Ben with the W. Alhamdulillah. Brother Ben, tell us how you do it. Akhi, they want to reach out to you, inshallah. All right. Tamam. We're going to get straight into this, inshallah. I will put the link to call me in the chat right now. However, you will I will keep you guys backstage. So if you want to go backstage now, it means you'll be in the queue first, but you're gonna have to wait for a hot minute because we've got some work to get through. We've got some work to get through, inshallah. Excuse me. All right, let's just get straight into this. Let's see. Soundboard ready? Yes. Good stuff.
This is haram.
All right, bismillah. We're good to go. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this, baby. We've got 75 of you in here already, mashallah. Like the video on your way on. I'm on like 9.96k subs. Yeah, we're very, very close to 10k subs. So do your boy a solid. Over 50% of you are not subscribed to my channel. Big man thing. What is this, bruv? That's a bit of a violation. I'm not gonna lie. Stop violating, man. Stop ninja watching. Even though I ninja watch, I'm not gonna lie. I ninja watch on some channels as well. But it's me, bruv. Do you know what I mean? You can't ninja watch on my channel. So like the video and subscribe to the channel. Barakallahu feekum. Okay, we will share the screen. Let us share the screen. Bismillah. Window. No, Chrome tab. We want to share the Chrome tab. Here we go. Bismillah. Right, I've got 2 timestamps that I'm going to be reacting to from our brother Ali Dawah, inshallah. And no, I'm not going to be going ham on the brother, okay? I've seen quite a few derogatory comments about our brother Ali Dawah, and that's not what you're going to be getting from me today. First of all, he's our brother in Islam, so he's going to be falling into backbiting and slander. So this is going to be a purely objective deconstruction of a couple of comments he made. All right, I don't want to see any insults in the comments. I don't want to see any slander, bro. You know what? If you want to do that, that's fine, because you're just gifting him your hasanat at this point. Literally, you're just gifting him your hasanat. So don't do that, Bev. It's not smart. Right, let's mute myself and get this show going. Bismillah.
Their husband doesn't want them to. Dressing in a way, you know.
I can tell you, like, as a traditional man, I can. If you're asking the question, I can list the things that we want.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good to know that as well.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like, for number one, for example, I want to be, like, for example, the provider. I believe in a relationship, if the woman is a provider, it will not work out. Now, this doesn't mean a woman cannot have a job. Of course, she can have a job. If my wife wanted to go do a part-time job because she wants to, I have no problem. That money is hers. She can do whatever she likes with it. But I will never allow her to pay for the rent, the shopping, petrol, whatever it may be. I will say to her, I don't care if you're a multi-millionaire. These are the things I pay for. I don't believe a relationship will work, because a man, for example, will feel very insulted if one day a little argument happens and she goes, well, who pays for the bill? Well, that is, for a man, that's like as good as punching him. He would never want to hear that, because he feels like he wants to be the maintainer and protector, just as a...
Okay. Brother Ali Dawah makes a solid point there towards the end, by the way. Yeah, but the point I want to address first is his initial statement. Excuse me. If my wife wants to work, then she can work. I will not get in the way of that. And I will not, and I'm just paraphrasing what he said, and I will not take a penny from that money. So this is very important that I want you to pay attention to this, because what I'm about to share with you is something you haven't thought of before. Most likely something you haven't considered before. And I will explain this with a story. So some time back, some quite sad news reached me of some brother who was married for many decades. And he's a well-to-do brother. He does well for himself. We're not talking millionaire, but he does well for himself. He takes care of the family. He takes care of the household. He funds everything. He's taking care of everything. That's all on him. MashaAllah, tabarakallah, Allahumma barik. During this period of time, whereby he was married to his wife for many decades, and they had a number of children with each other, his wife was also working. However, his wife was not contributing towards any of the household bills, because as he saw it, I'm the man, I should pay, this is my job, so on and so forth. In principle, I would agree with you. However, unbeknownst to him, our sister was plotting, calculating, biding her time, saving money. Whilst our brother, mashallah, tabarakallah, was paying for everything, bought the house outright, gave his family a comfortable way of life, his wife was saving money and plotting the next steps years in advance. Women are calculated like this, okay? Very calculated. Years in advance, until she finally dropped the hammer and informed him that she no longer wanted to be with him anymore. This news reached our brother, and he is somewhere in his 60s. Okay. He lost the home because the children need a home. That's the way the courts see it. So he lost the home. So I thought I saw a comment that says serious vibrations. No. If there's any issues, by the way, with the stream quality, just let me know, guys. Yeah. He lost the home. He's in his 60s. He needs to start afresh again. And he has zero assets. Zero assets. Lost the home, funded his family's way of living his whole life, and now he has no assets to show for. And before we continue, I need to give a shout out to my guy Akeem Mujahid. Shout out to you. Allahu Akbar, takbir, shout out to Akeem, mashallah. He's actually Akeem. Let me just read this comment first. My man, shukran for connecting me with great brothers on NSN. Looking forward for a great stream. May Allah bless you. You know, we have a community on NSN. The way that No Strings Nikah app has unfolded is very interesting because these things take a life of their own, and you're sort of directed by the feedback you get from those who actually use the app. And we have a thriving community on NSN, a thriving community. If you want to test out the app for free, you're welcome to. 7-day free trial. Just download on the App Store or Google Play. You'll be able to find it there, inshallah ta'ala, and just have a look. Not only will you be able to engage with the community, you will be able to benefit from the content that is exclusively put up on NSN, whether it's from Muslim Man Nabil, shout out to him, who's got some amazing content. Amazing content. I've shared it on my community feed on YouTube. Check it out there. Or whether it's myself putting posts up, or Afsa with regards to diet coach Afsa. It's very holistic, taking care of not just the women. Where are the women? Taking care of your looks, taking care of your game. Finances is something we may consider in the future. But for now, looks and game on lock, only on NSN. For 999 pennies a month. Shout out to you, Akeem. I appreciate you, Akhi. Going back to our story. So the brother now is in his 60s. He spent a lifetime of saving money to reinvest into his family, as most men do, whilst at the same time his wife was working and saving her own money, not spending on the house, because he believed he was the man. At the conclusion of this breakup, once they had broken up, he started to feel some type of way, and he expressed that he felt extreme regret, extreme remorse for ever having paid for everything. He wished he made his wife pay for at least some of the stuff. What's your opinion on this? What's your view on this? Do you agree? Do you disagree? And why? Should she have paid for some of the stuff? Should she have contributed towards the house? Should she have contributed towards bills? Yes or no? And why? Because I know some of you men are going to be like, yes, absolutely, she should have. How could she? Blah, blah, blah. Emotional reaction. I will answer the question for you. The answer is yes, she should have contributed towards the affairs of the household. You heard me say it. And allow me to explain why. I will explain to you. Habibi, be patient, Habibi. I am coming, ya bin Ammi. I will explain it. Everything will be explained. Just do me one favor. Whilst I am explaining everything.
Shut up your mouth, Obama.
Please, just shut up your mouth, Obama. I see in the chat lots of people waffling. Stop the waffling, please.
Shut up your mouth, Obama.
There is too much of this.
This is number one bullshit.
Too much. Just go and
Go wash your ass.
like Psycho Omar says, it's very simple. Please, I will explain it to you why she should have paid some of the household affairs. Let me tell you why. First of all, let us balance this conversation in reality. The reality is, I don't want to look into the camera. I'm going to look into the computer, okay? Actually, you know what, Bunda? Let me look into the camera. The reality is most households require 2 incomes. Sadly, this is the reality that we live in. Since women have participated or joined the workforce, the value of labor, which, by the way, Sister Wa'ad pointed out, and shout out to Sister Wa'ad because I watched this whole podcast and she made some very articulate points. I've had Sister Wa'ad on my podcast in the past and I was impressed with her articulation. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Usually when I listen to women talk, it's just noise. Yani, bصراحة, yani, your points are weaving left and right. There's so much networking going up, down, left, right, and it's just so difficult to pay attention. But Sister Wa'ad made some logical points that were well articulated. So Jazakallah khair. Since women have entered the workforce, the value of labor has halved. That means now we need 2 people to do the job of 1 person 60 years ago. 2 incomes are now a bare minimum to run a household for most people. This is the situation. So if you find yourself in a situation whereby you have to work and your wife has to work, so be it. So be it. Yani, we can't criticize these brothers and say, oh, shame on these brothers. How dare they ask their wives to provide? Yani, what's your solution, ya bin ammi? Are they inferior men? No, they're the same men who are working 40 hours as the men of 60 years ago were working 40 hours. Actually, they were probably working less than. But the value of labor has halved. So I'm extending an empathetic ear or an empathetic stance to the majority of average men who find themselves in this situation. He wishes he could pay for everything. Billah, wallahi, he wishes he could. But it is what it is. His wife maybe has to work part-time or he has to take on an extra shift and it's still not enough and they're just struggling to make ends meet. So yani, I would like to, Habibi Yusuf, alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. I would like us to understand that this is the reality of most people's living situations. Okay? Right. Now we've discussed that. Let's get to the second point of this. Let's say that you are a man who is in a fortunate enough situation excuse me, whereby you are able to take care of the affairs of your household without your wife participating. You're able to do it on your own. This is actually quite unique in this day and age, in the West we're talking about, because it's just expensive to live. I'm not even factoring in inflation. It's very difficult for a household to run on a single average income. That's the key word here, on a single average income. So I'm not shaming these men because the majority of men are average, right? But you're a man who is able to take care of the affairs of the household on your own. Now what? Your wife turns around and she says to you, Habibi, I want to work. And by the way, it's you have no right to touch my money. You cannot touch my money. She's right. Her money is her money. And your money is for yourself and for the household, for the family. But here's where I draw the line. Habibti, listen to me, ya bint ammi. You are about to learn it. The very important principle I am about to explain it to you. Very important. Okay. I don't need you to work. Yeah, it's very important, Habibti, you understand. I don't need you to work. What I do need you to do is be at home, take care of the children, have my food ready for me, be relaxed and happy when I come home. If you start to work, if you go to work, the chances are, not chances, definitely you are going to start to become stressed out. You are going to come home tired. You are going to expect me to participate in some of the affairs of the household, whether it's chores, cooking, and so on. So now here we have 2 problems. I am doing 100% of my role, which is providing for you and the family, but you are doing 50% of your role, or 40%, or 30%. So let's say you're a man who doesn't have a problem with your wife working. Okay, fine, Habibti, no problem. You want to work? Not a problem, Habibti. I'm going to continue to pay for everything. Okay? But if you want to go to work, Habibti, you're taking value away from me. I'm going to come home and not only am I going to be tired, but you're probably going to be tired. You're going to be stressed out from whatever it was you done at work. Food might not be ready on time because you were at work. You may well expect me to participate around the house with regards to the household chores and so on. No problem, Habibti, I will do that. And you will pay for half the bills. Where's my slap? Where's my freaking slap? You will pay for half the bills. And again, bend over. I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. Astaghfirullah. Why? Because you're taking value away from me. This is a value exchange. This brother in this story that I just explained to you was a man who was in a fortunate enough position to be able to take care of the affairs of his household on his own without his wife contributing. So therefore, if she goes to work, no problem, you're going to contribute as well. Because you're taking the value away from me. You're coming home tired. You're coming home stressed. Food's not always going to be ready on time. You're going to expect me to do stuff around the house as well. You're taking value away from me. And this is where I disagree with our brother Ali Dawa. If my wife wants to work, she can work, no problem. I don't mind. And I will continue to pay for everything. I'm a donkey. I must be a donkey. An ahmar to accept this. No. You take value away from me. I take value away from you. Point blank, period. Bend over. You understand my point, don't you? Right. We will keep it moving. Bismillah. We're going to go to the next timestamp of this clip. I think I've made my point pretty clear.
This fear mongering that's been happening, and you can see it, subhanallah. And the study, like,
our Muslim brothers and sisters in Yemen are dying and in desperate need of your help. Worse,
like in the book that I'm reading, Miseducation of Women, James Tooley, he talks about it. There was a study done from the 1970s, and Mohammed Hijab mentioned in this podcast, the 1990s. They interviewed about 100,000 women, and if you look at it, they are less happy. The fact that all of you sisters are in sync, like, I'll be honest with you, that the fact that you're like, because you know why? You want a husband that will protect and provide. It's not the other way of this whole career woman, etc. You can see that women are less happy in the workplace. I think 78% or 80% of women said that they get stressed. They have psychological issues pertaining to having to go to work. They want somebody. So if you look at our sisters or Muslim females at large as well, they generally don't want to go work. They want traditional men. But the point is also, we need to be bearing in mind as well, are there traditional men? Yeah, and that's another issue as well.
So this is where I would politely suggest to our brother Ali Dawa that there's a bit of cognitive dissonance going on here. On the one hand, our brother has said that, mathalan, if his wife wanted to work, no problem, she can work. But then on the other hand, he acknowledges from this study from James Tooley that when a woman goes to work and is in the workplace, she's stressed out. فوق اللازم يعني. Above the norm. She's stressed out. She may experience depression. It's not her natural environment. It's not her natural place. She's feeling some type of way. So let me tell you something, Habibi Ali Dawa, and this is yani where we have to talk a little bit sternly now. Okay? You understand that a woman going to the workplace puts her in a situation whereby she is not functioning properly, mentally stressed out and so on. She is no longer in an optimal state for you. At the exact same time, you expect men to take care of the affairs of the household on their own without requesting anything from their wife. If a man is gonna do that, then guess what? If a woman expects a man to be performing optimally for her in the house, then I as a man expect my wife to be performing optimally for me and the children. This is the equity. This is the exchange of value. If I am to fulfill my end of the bargain, whilst she is compromised in her end of the bargain, la habibti, you're not going to work. Go to the kitchen and work a meal for me. Make work for meal or something like this, Why you work for boss? You work for a big boss. I am big boss. Go make me dinner, food. Go to the kitchen or something. Favorite place in the house. Why would I accept this? Value exchange. Those are the 2 points that I wanted to make to our brother Ali Dawa. And I know he's going to see this. I know he will see this. And I know that we're going to have a conversation soon, inshallah ta'ala. We will. And like I say, keep it respectful, guys. If you start speaking disrespectfully, you're only hurting yourself, to be quite frank with you. All right. Saeed, you're up. Assalamu alaikum. Saeed, you're on the stream. What's going on?
Yeah, brother. You hear me?
Habibi, I can hear you.
Yeah,
What's going on?
assalamu
Bro?
alaikum.
Walaikum
Yeah,
assalam.
so I have a question about myself, and I have some input about this team, about the topic that you're talking about.
Let's start there.
So-
Start with your input on the stream, and then we'll go to your question, inshallah.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. So I have to say that I'm from Pakistan, but I came to Germany recently, about 4 years ago. So I have a question. I'm not yet married, but I'm looking to get married. So my question is, with
Habibi, I said start with the feedback on my analysis of Ali Dawa, then we get to your question. What do you
Yes,
want to
yes,
add
yes.
to that? Yes, brother, please.
Yeah. So I'm just giving you my perspective. So if she's working as well, because she has to, because the everything's expensive and so on, then I think as a man you will understand that you are able to maybe educate your children better. Maybe you can give them your values more when you're more able to spend time with them more. Which if you don't leave it to your wife all the time, maybe do you think it's a good thing?
What do you mean? I don't, brother. I don't understand. Never mind. What's your question? What's your question, bro?
Yeah, okay. I will go ahead with the question. So I live in Germany, but I'm from Pakistan. But everybody says to me that I have to marry a Pakistani girl.
Okay.
Okay, but me personally, I'm way attracted to German girls.
Right.
Way more attracted to German girls. That's like a huge point for me. And I've been postponing my marriage for a very long time because of this. So what would you say about this? Should I take advice from my parents, or should I give chance to German girls and see what happens there?
How old are you?
I'm 31.
How many times have you been married before?
Never.
Why?
Yeah, because I was in Pakistan, I was working, I was supporting my family. Then I started to work on coming to Germany. I was completing my degree, and then I just did my master last year. And now I'm working full time for 1 year. I'm earning around 55,000 euros per year.
All right, let's not overcomplicate this, bro. Okay, so your family would prefer for you to marry a girl from your country, Pakistan, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of beautiful women in Pakistan that you get along with. No?
Probably, yeah.
Tamam. So why don't you marry a Pakistani sister that you get on with? Not no arranged marriage thing whereby you don't get on with her. You're attracted to her, you get on with her, and then you can make a second wife, a German wife, no problem. This is a good solution.
But yeah, but I don't have any Pakistani girlfriends. So anything that happens, it will have to be arranged.
Habibi, why you have girlfriend?
This is haram.
People that you talk to and just understand each other and talk to on the phone like 2-3 days every 2 days. I don't have any such thing happen ever with a Pakistani girl.
Okay, look, you listen. This is all I'm gonna say. Look, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. By and large, women are the same. And don't think, yeah, because she's German, that somehow it's different. By and large, women are the same. It doesn't really matter which. As a man who's had quite a number of women in his life, let me just tell you, by and large, they're the same. Yeah. Now, you may have a preference for German women, no problem. That's absolutely fine. But you have to consider, will I upset my family to the point whereby this could cause issues? If the answer is yes, then I would say explore, try, see. Maybe there's a Pakistani sister that she's the one for you, bro. Like you really feel like, yeah, I like this girl. I can see myself marrying her and and living happily with her.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But another thing that my family, even though they do prefer, and the general advice from people is that you should marry a Pakistani girl. My family doesn't have a problem with me exploring German.
Then there's no issue. Then what's the issue? Find yourself a German chick.
Okay, but then do you understand that I will have to fine, and it takes time, and something inside me says that I have to get married soon, and so or do you say I could take
look,
1 year or so?
no, bruv, no. Why is it gonna take 1 year? Listen, I don't know, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is what happens to single men and women who stay single for too long, is that they start going into a state of analysis paralysis. You start overcooking it, overthinking it. Habibi, just find a sister that you feel like, yep, alhamdulillah, I like her. Too much information is bad information. You need to know this. Same in business as well. Too much information is bad information. If you've been watching me, you know I have a 3 meeting rule. If I like you, I'll meet you once, I'll meet you twice, and I'll meet you maximum 3 times. After 3 meetings, I know whether I will marry you or not. And that can be done in the space of 2 or 3 weeks. And then keep it moving. It doesn't have, yani, you can make this as easy or as complicated as you want it to be. Are we clear on that? Yeah.
Right.
Okay, Habibi, I'm gonna bring on next caller. My man, take care.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. All right, Salafiyya. MashaAllah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
السلام عليكم أخي.
Habibi, switch your camera on. Bismillah. Brother, why you go? I say we have conversation and switch your camera on. Muhammad, salamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
What are you saying? Akhi? Switch your camera on, please, bro.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Why, brother?
Well, because it's a privacy issue.
Privacy issue. Yalla, hit me. Bismillah. Faddal.
Yeah. So about your question, I don't agree with both of you, with Ali and you.
Oh, go on. Bismillah.
Yeah. Well, first of all, he shouldn't have let her work in the first place. You know, I have this principle: the wife shouldn't work. She always need to feel in need of her husband, dependent on her husband.
Sahih.
Yeah. So if she goes and work and started feeling that she's kinda could live without him, well, she would start finding another man whom she would feel dependent on him.
Possible, yes.
That makes sense.
Yes, it is possible. What point of the stream did you join? From the beginning?
No, not the beginning.
Right. So I mentioned, I'm in agreement with you, Muhammad, but I mentioned the reality of the situation of most men in the West today is that most households require 2 incomes to function. This is the sad reality, is that, and it's not because the man is deficient or most men are underperforming. No, it's because the value of labor in the workforce has halved. Since women entered the workforce, the value of labor has halved. It's a simple case of supply and demand. You double the workforce, you half the value of said work. So now most households actually require 2 incomes just to survive. So a woman is not working out of a luxury, she's working out of a necessity. And this is the situation for most households in the West today. Are you with me?
Yeah, but I'm not sure. Will that work?
I'm not saying will it work or not work. I'm not saying that. I'm just simply saying this is the unfortunate situation that we find ourselves in. Are you with me? So we have to acknowledge this reality. You know, I'm sure most men they wish they could take care of everything on their own. But the unfortunate reality is that for the average man today, whether he's Muslim or not, it is a requirement to have 2 incomes coming into the household to make the house, to let the house function. Because it's very difficult to run a family on 1 average income in the West today.
Okay, fair enough. But what I would say, if a man is capable of providing to his family on his own, he should never let his wife go out and work.
Now I am agreement with you, brother. This is where I agree.
Because what Ali said, if my wife wants to work, that's fine. If she wants to have a part job, that's fine. No, that's not fine.
Barakallahu feek. Jazakallahu khair. I agree with you. Personally, I agree with you. I'm with you. However, I am saying if we are to entertain this idea, or the one that Ali Dawah mentioned, then I would say the following. Okay, you want to let your wife work? Fine. Okay, you want to let her work. No problem. Then, Habibti, you're going to pay for half the bills. Why? Because you're taking value away from me. You're not at home when I need you to be, whenever I want you to be. You can't do stuff for me whenever I want you to, and the kids certainly will not have you when they need you as well. So you're taking value away from me. Now I'm going to take value away from you. Before I paid for everything, now I don't pay for everything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Habib Muhammad, take care. Assalamu alaikum.
Barakallah fik.
Mushi, shout out to you, bro. Jazakallah khair for the £5 super chat. Thank you for your efforts. Look at how women get independent and get rid of us. This is a good point here, to be honest. Wise man, what's going on?
Yo, Mahdi, what's up?
Habibi,
Assalamu
assalamu
alaikum wa
alaikum.
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Salam
Yeah.
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What's your name, akh?
Murad is my name.
Murad. Pleasure, Murad. What are
Yeah,
you saying?
thank you. No, I like my question is honestly like it's you know we want to get married, like a lot of us. I know my friends, my brothers, we really want to get married to protect ourselves. But it's becoming like seriously a trial, like to find because it feels like the parents they expect you to
move the mic away from your mouth a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, like that.
Yeah, go on. Carry on.
The parents they expect us to have big houses, cars, being doctors before we can do the nikah, and then you kind of get your morale goes down. You're like, I'm not good enough.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
25. And how long have you been trying to get married for now?
Like, I've been trying for like maybe a year or two. Yeah.
Okay, fine. And what do you do?
Right now I work security and I study.
You work security and you study? Okay, mashallah.
Yeah.
And what are you studying?
I'm studying to like help people with addictions and so on.
We're losing you, bro. We're losing you.
Okay. No, I'm studying to help people.
Okay, fine. And how many sisters have you spoken to over the past year?
Mostly it's been on apps, the Muslim apps. And
Mm.
what I find out every single time when I speak to them is that they have these feminist beliefs. And then like almost everything, I swear to God, like I couldn't find one Salafi, like someone who's, follows the more old school, if you say the original, like that the woman should obey her husband, that she should protect herself and so on.
Which country do you live in?
I live in Sweden.
You live in Sweden. Where are you from originally?
Azerbaijan.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Right. There's something that I'm trying to pull up here that I believe it was our brother Cal who shared this. And Cal, I see you there in the background, but in the backstage, I'll be bringing you up shortly, inshallah. All right, I want to share. Let me just share my screen with you. You're breathing into your mic, by the way. Just try and like move it away from you.
Okay. Yes.
All right, just stay there. I want to share this with you right now. Chrome tab. Right. This is from the NSN app. What I'm showing you right now is Akeem, my bad, brother Akeem, the brother who put up the $50 super chat. Shout out to you. I want to read this through with you, okay? Because Akeem put this up in the No Strings Nikah app community, and I want you to just pay attention to this because it's very important. Okay. Right. Tinder executive Jonathan Badeen, in an interview, admitted as much when he explained the swiping idea was based on an experiment by American psychologist B.F. Skinner, whereby he conditioned hungry pigeons to believe that food delivered randomly into a tray was prompted by their pecking. The pigeons began pecking more in the hopes of earning extra. I want this article here, okay? It's titled, "Are Dating Apps Simply Gambling Machines Designed to Get You Hooked?" And the reason why that I'm bringing this up to you right now is because dating apps work well for women, generally speaking, but they don't work very well for men, especially if you don't know what you're freaking doing. Okay, most men don't even know how to present themselves properly on these apps. And Nabil has actually put an article on on NSN on how to present yourself properly and maximize your chances of actually being seen. But the reason why is most women dismiss most men, whereas most men will be happy to entertain options of any woman. So if you think that you're going to find your wife on an app, any app, okay, I'm here to tell you that those chances are slim to none if you're using these swiping features. It's not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it is unlikely.
If I
in the
may
least
ask
instance.
you, like, where would you recommend if I don't have family?
You need to
that-
get out there, bro. You need to like family recommendation. This is the best, the best thing I can
But
recommend to you.
that's
Family
the thing.
recommendation.
I don't really have that. That's
What do you
the
mean you
thing.
don't have that? What do you mean?
I mean, I don't have the family recommendation thing. It's just not possible. So, like, how do I go out?
Masjid?
Yeah,
Friends? Do you have any friends?
Yeah, I have friends. But they have the
Okay.
same issue. They're also trying to get married. It's like everybody is looking for that, the right woman.
How many hours a week do you spend on dating apps? Roughly.
I don't spend any time. I've deleted everything. Like I had the Muzmatch app.
Yes,
and
Muzmatch,
I was continuously, like, I was talking to women, and they were
Mhm.
telling me like crazy, like even kufr beliefs. They were rejecting things from the hadiths. They were like insanely feminist.
All right.
And not
Are
just
you-
one, but
Let me tell you something, bro. Yeah, with a lot of these women, it's not worth getting into these types of debates on these apps because
Yeah.
she's not in your frame. So a lot of brothers, what they try to do, they're trying to find the perfect ukhti, the perfect bint right off the rip, and they put all these filters. What's your beliefs on this? What's your beliefs on that? This, that, and the third. Now, I'm not saying you should just take any sister, but I am saying that a woman is far more open to hearing your beliefs once she's in your frame, once she's taken a liking to you. So it's better not to get too much into the nitty gritty before she has an opportunity to like you first. Does she pray 5 times a day? Does she wear hijab? Is she covered in? Like, does she tick the basics? Okay, mashallah.
Yeah.
Let her get a chance to like you. Let her fall into your frame, because once she does, she will be more open to adopting, keyword, adopting whatever it is you want her to adopt. Your point of view, your stance, your whatever. You got to give her that chance to like you first. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm following you. I feel you.
But wallahi, yani, I really do feel for you, brothers, man, because it's rough, it's hard, it's rough out here. I don't know what to say, man. This is the situation that we find ourselves in. By 2030, 45% of all prime aged working women, that is the age between 25 to 44, will be single and childless. You can find this, just type rise of the she economy on Google, and I believe it's one of the big banking institutions. I can't remember which one. It's not JP Morgan, it's another one. Morgan Stanley, I believe. Morgan Stanley. Right, rise of the she economy. This is the situation. So you wanna maximize you wanna maximize every single advantage that you possibly can, and then need to work a lot after that. I'm gonna bring another caller on, my man. Okay.
Take care, man. Take
Habibi,
care.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa
We've got 220 of you in here. Like the video, please. Jazakumullah khair. Cal, what's going on, bro?
Adopting whatever it is.
Walaikum salam.
Habibi, how you doing, man?
Alhamdulillah. All good, brother. All good. You?
Shout out to the NSN crew. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah,
I'm good,
man.
Akhi.
Yeah. I just want to follow on from what you were saying about to that brother. I think you might have seen my post in the community, brothers, especially the younger brothers, I'd say, because I'm a bit older. I've been there. I've done that. I would say get yourselves on there, because there's a lot of older brothers who can give you the benefit of their experience. So what I would say is, brothers, look, it's like Brother Mahdi said, he's completely correct. This swiping thing, let's just be honest, it's a game to a lot of these women, because they've got so many options. The best thing you can do is surround yourself with good people. You know, like you said, go to the masjid, do all those things. Build
Personal
a rapport with
recommendation.
them.
Personal recommendation.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you a perfect. I think you know this anyway. My own brother-in-law is my little brother's friend, like good friend. So you don't get a bigger endorsement than that. And my dad's old school. Like my dad's like proper old school. Like he's ex-military, so he's a lot like your dad. I think like he's very, very strict, and like you know, he didn't give him an easy ride or anything, but because obviously he's come with the recommendation, you know, and my dad trusts us, you know, obviously we're going to put our sister's needs first. Alhamdulillah, they're okay now, married, got a kid, mashallah, they're happy. But I think a lot of the younger brothers, they tend to get in their own way a lot. They'll get caught up on this whole, oh, how do I be alpha? How do I do this? How do I do that? When the solution is a very practical one. I just think they get in their heads too much, and I think that's what the issue is. And I think, like I said, like you've said, I think the best thing, brothers, is just even for ideas, just get yourself on the app. Just have a look at some of the posts.
Shout out to you, bro. People are gonna think that I paid you to do this or something.
You know what it is, bro? I'm a lot like you in the sense that I got a younger brother, right? He's 30. Yeah, I'm trying to get him to settle down. You know what it's like. I'm 10 years older than him, and it pains me to see these young brothers making these mistakes. It really does. Because I'm like, I was you once, you know. I mean, I got married very young, you know, so alhamdulillah, I didn't have that problem. But I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? You know, we want to see them get married. We want to see them be happy. And a lot of these lads, they're about the same age as my brothers. I kind of feel a duty, you know what I mean, to try and help them to present themselves in the best way and give themselves the best opportunity. But swiping, it's not going to work, man. I'll be honest with you, it's rare. Unless you look like some kind of male model.
And do you know the funny thing is, bro, is that I can't remember what the percentage is, but it's in the high 90s. The majority of women, the filter that they choose for height, is 6'6". 6'6". Everyone wants the 6'6" flipping Giga Chad, and the percentage of men who are 6'6" is something like 0.4% of the population. What are you talking about?
Brother, you know the amount of sisters I have seen on those apps who are in their late 30s, they're freezing their eggs because I knew one. I was chatting to one girl, it was ages ago. I think it was about a year ago. I think it was a Muzmatch. And she was telling me about the last guy, and he was this, that, the other. And I said, well, why did you waste so much time talking to him if he was such an idiot? Oh, he was 6'3". It's like, oh, Habibti, you got really, really, really bad like decision-making skills there. Well, how am I supposed to feel any confidence in what you're saying? You know what I mean?
Cal, I appreciate you, man. I'll see you in the understand community, inshallah.
Okay.
Habibi, take care.
Like content.
Habibi, jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum. All right, guys, I've got 216 of you in here. And how many likes? Listen, you bloody babble. If there is not half likes, there's going to be a big problem. I'm telling you, big problem. We will have big beef. Let me see. All right. And by the way, 9,960 subs. I'm 400k subs of hitting 10k. We've got 216 of you in here. Another 50% of you are not subbed to the channel. So do your boy solid and sub the channel. 67 people like the video and 217 watching.
This is haram.
Stop lying to you. It's not haram.
Go wash your ass.
Yes, you can do that.
Go wash your ass.
67 likes.
This is #1 bullshit.
You heard the man. Wallahi. Like that video. All right, we're going to take a segue now because there is a second part to this stream. It's actually a very, very disturbing series of messages that my wife received. And the sister, actually, she messaged me on the confessions as well that I had up on my Instagram today. So I'm going to be reading them. I'm going to be reading them out, and I'm going to go through this series of messages that she sent. Okay. So let me share the screen. All right. Can you guys see that? Yeah. You can see that on your screen, right? Tayyib. Bismillah. Let's get into this. Right. Okay. So the sister says, Assalamu alaikum, ukhti. I hope you're doing well, inshallah. I wanted to talk about a subject, or let's say, trying to get some wise words from a sister like you. Let's start 10 to 11 years ago. And guys, by the way, I will be opening up the stream back again for calls after I've concluded this next part, okay? The link's in the chat. I was a very young sister, 15 years old. This is 10 years ago, yeah? Wearing the jilbab, very practicing, alhamdulillah. I spent my youth and my days either at home or the masjid, teaching Arabic and Quran to the kids. I obtained an ijaza to teach tajweed at a young age, alhamdulillah. Of course, there were many brothers who were very interested in marrying me, just by virtue of her youth alone. And I was interested as well in the idea of a young marriage. This has always been a goal. The problem was my father, who was very much against the idea of getting married at a young age. Yeah, this is where the problems start. Pay attention. You remember what I said to you, men? Yeah, what do you think is going to happen if you keep turning your daughter or turning suitors away from your daughter? What do you think is going to happen, ya bin ammi? Oh, she's going to sit there and be very holy and just read books and I don't know. No, ya bin ammi. She's going to get those cheeks clapped. Let's continue. He refused every single brother, every single well-known man in our Muslim community. This is really bad. Sometimes I got the message from sisters that my dad refused another brother. He didn't even tell me, nor him or my mum. You know, Kevin Samuels once made an interesting point, and he said, some men don't want their daughters to get married because he's concerned, or he doesn't like the idea of a man doing to his daughter what he did to her mother. Basically, that's the bottom line. Yeah. And if you're a man, a father who is getting in the way of your daughters getting married, I can assure you that the likelihood of the following, what you are about to hear, happening is very high. Let's continue. Some years later, I ended up marrying someone who turned out to be a total simp and non-practicing as well after marriage. We got divorced and now I'm 27 with children and ready to marry again. However, I want to live in a poly marriage, no strings nikah. Polygyny meaning she wants to be second, third or fourth wife. And she wants it specifically to be a no strings nikah setup. So a misyar type of setup where she's forsaking some of her rights. But again, my parents are totally against it. Now, let me just address this real quick. I understand why a lot of parents would feel some type of way of their daughter getting into a no strings nikah marriage, whereby she is forsaking some of her nights, some provision. She's making concessions. It's not a traditional marriage. It's not a conventional marriage, sorry. It's a marriage that has some of the strings cut off. I understand why parents would feel some type of way towards that. You know what? Most parents will feel some type of way towards their daughter marrying again, point blank, period, after she's been divorced once. And you know what the problem with that is? You're about to find out. In March, I got to know a brother whom I have actually known since 2010, those masjid times. He was one of the brothers who got refused by my parents. Surprise, surprise. He continued his life, got married, had kids, and me as well. I was 15 at that time, and he was 30. All right, my guy, you don't want to be catching a case, Bev. You don't want to be catching a case out here. Now I'm 27 and he's 42. We met again because I am a friend of his wife. Ooh, boy. What did I tell you? That loyalty amongst women is thin, Bev. No, I'm joking. If you have a good husband and you're a wife, who better to give to offer your husband another wife to than one of your friends? But these women, man, I'm telling you, Bev. All right. Not a close one, but I've known her for years. I think English is not this woman's first language, but let's carry on. And recently, January 2022, we got in touch with each other again. I quickly grew an interest for her husband, and so did he grow an interest for me. I think she's trying to say. I mean, he knows me since I was a young girl, and he remembered every single detail about me and about my time at the masjid, etc. We ended up adding each other on Facebook. I know, not the right way. Subhanallah, you know, and what I'm about to read to you here. You know what this reminds me of? When Allah says in the Quran, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا, and don't go anywhere near zina. Adding someone on Facebook, following her on Instagram. Don't go anywhere near it. He didn't say don't commit the act, fornication or adultery. He said Don't go anywhere near it. Look where this madness starts. We ended up adding each other on Facebook. We messaged each other until one night, oh boy, he came over and we ended up sleeping with each other. Now listen, yeah. One thing that I don't want to see in the chat is all the moralizing comments. Astaghfirullah, how could they? Yes, you should say astaghfirullah about this. How could they? What is wrong with them? Be careful, Allah could test you. Just say, Alhamdulillah, Allah didn't test you with this. Say, Alhamdulillah, Allah hasn't yet put you in a position. And I say yet, because you don't know what you're going to be tested with. That He hasn't tested you with being in the presence of a woman alone. Or you slipping up and making your way to the home of a woman alone when there's no mahram around. It's just you, her, and the third one is shaitan. Say, Alhamdulillah, and ask Allah to continue to protect you in this way. Don't start moralizing and being all holier than thou, polishing thy halo. No. Say, Alhamdulillah, this wasn't you. That's the correct response. And if your response is one of arrogance and like looking down like this, believe me, a test is coming your way. Be careful, my friend. We both knew this was wrong, sleeping together outside of marriage. However, his wife absolutely dismisses the idea of a poly marriage. Okay, problem number one. Ladies, let me tell you something, yeah? If you get in the way of your husband doing what Allah has made halal for him, one of a number of things is going to happen. Either here, he might go and commit zina. And if he does, he's a coward, by the way. And I say that to the sister, by the way. This man that you're sleeping with, he's a coward. And you need to know this. He is a coward. Because halal is easy. And I'm going to get to that afterwards. I want to address things in order. But it definitely makes it easier to commit haram. This is one thing. The other thing is, okay, he will agree. He will say, you know what? Okay, I'm not going to take another wife. I'm not going to get another one. But he will hold resentment towards you. He will hold a high level of resentment towards you that will probably cause the marriage to crumble eventually anyway. Because of this resentment that he holds. Now, I have no sympathy for these men. You made your bed, now lie in it. Choices and trade-offs. Oh, but I didn't want to marry again because she was going to run away with the kids. Okay, well, you made that choice then. You made that choice. However, I'm speaking to the sister right now. Understand, there will be consequences. So we both knew this was wrong. However, his wife dismissed the idea of poly. And my parents would never let me marry into a poly marriage and never accept the idea of a no strings nikah. She's using this language, not me, which is perfect for me. Now, if you've heard me talk about no strings nikah before, then you will know the reason why it is convenient for a very specific niche of women is because they are women who have been married before, who have children and don't want to be a full-time wife. Let me say that again. They've been married before, they have children, and they don't want to be a full-time wife. For whatever reason, and their reasons vary. Some of them because they want to they don't want to have to concentrate on a man. She wants to focus purely on her children. Others have had very bad experiences with men and now are no longer able to commit in that way, to not commit, to give her heart in that way, in the way she's done before. She's damaged. So she wants halal company of a man every now and again. So her parents rejected it. I know for a fact that his wife is vanilla. Well, okay. We had these kind of discussions when we met with other friends, and so I know what he gets with me. He doesn't have it with her. Interesting. So ladies, when you're talking about this stuff, just know that your mate might be listening. When you're complaining to your friend about how this, that, and the third with your husband, just know that she might be sitting there registering, thinking, oh, they're having problems there. I can provide her. I can get in there. Bear with me 1 second, guys. I need to do this real quick. Sorry, guys, I had to do that real quick. So be careful who you complain to, because another woman might be sitting there thinking, there might be an angle here for me to get in and take advantage. Our sex is mad, rough, hard, We both enjoy the idea of graping. He is an absolute alpha male, dominant, and I am a total sub. I'm a true SLUT in bed with him. That's mad. I've been married for years and never had these experiences with my ex, the simp. Allah understand. We basically live a no strings nikah without the nikah. What a tragedy. And that's killing both of us. I'm the happiest around him. I really enjoy being in my absolute feminine energy with him. I talk to my parents, and my father is absolutely against it, even though the brother is from the same North African country as me. I don't want a convenient marriage, or I think she meant conventional marriage, even though it would be someone else. I want NSN option 2 or 3, some of the strings or none of the strings. I need some advice, sister, because I really, really have grown feelings for him, and so has he grown feelings for me. You can share the message in your stories if you want, inshallah, if that would help anyone. All right. Got a few things to unpack here. So I will say to the sister, and if you have something to add to this, by the way, the link is in the chat. You can join the stream, inshallah. I will say to the sister that this individual, this gentleman that you are with, he is a coward. Why? Because if he has even just a little bit of Islamic knowledge, he knows that if there is no obedience to the creation, if it entails disobedience to the creator. Let me say that again. There is no obedience to the creation if it entails disobedience to the creator. Meaning, if your parents, your father specifically, is against you getting married, and he doesn't have a religious reason for this, a shari'i reason for this, other than I just don't like the idea of my daughter getting married in this way, well, then his reason doesn't stand and he will be bypassed as a wali. But this is not for you to make this decision. You have to actually go to a sheikh of some sort who will make this judgment call for you. And typically they will get in touch with the wali first. If the wali insists and says, no, 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 then he will be bypassed. It's not hard. It's simple is what I'm trying to say to you. It is simple. And that this man that you are with did not even have the temerity in all this time that you've been sleeping with each other. It's been going on for nearly a year. Nearly 1 year it's been going on for. He has not had the temerity or the courage to do that. Is a strong indication to me that he's not the alpha you think he is. He's actually a coward. He's a coward. Okay, you can say you made one mistake. He came around once and, you know, stuff happened and you fell into haram. Okay, maybe this would be, you know, we could give some understanding for this. But this has been going on for a year. In all that time, he hasn't approached one of the mashayikh and spoken to them and asked to speak to the father and gone through that route. And if needs be, bypass him as a wali and have a wali appointed in his position. He is a coward. That's the first thing. The second thing is, in my view, even if you do actually get a nikah now, I have a feeling there'll be no barakah in your marriage. I really believe this because of how it started off. Part of the reason why it feels so like, that's the word. Part of the reason why it feels so intense is because these emotions that shaitan has aroused, just up, down, even though you feel terrible inside afterwards, and that's from your iman. To your credit, you feel bad because you have iman, but nevertheless, all of these feelings are, shaitan wants you to get on. He wants you to have a great time when you're together because it's haram. The moment you get married, all of that's going to be gone. Not to say that it couldn't work, and probably it's still best for you to get married anyway if you're going to continue slipping into haram, but I'm just saying, excuse the pun, slipping into haram, slipping onto haram. Astaghfirullah. Allah al-musta'an. Nasser, the link is in the chat now, akhi. The link is in the chat, akhi. That's my 2 cents, man. Yalla. Sheikh Rabi' al-Madkhali.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. There's a huge echo, bro.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to remove you, I'm afraid, akhi. That's a terrible echo. Salah, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Mahdi. How are you doing, man?
Very good, alhamdulillah. How are you, bro?
Pretty good. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. 1 second, akhi. Ali Squared. You can find my email address in the description of all my videos. Just go there, inshallah ta'ala. Yes, tfaddal, akhi.
All right, I wanted to ask you, and alhamdulillah, I'm 26. I'm a software engineer. I make about 180K, and my alhamdulillah. And my parents want me to get married. Now my issue is that, and I'm on LinkedIn, and people can find out my salaries just by looking up the company that I work for. So I want to approach people for marriage, but I'm afraid of, as soon as they see how much I make, I'm basically afraid of gold diggers. That's the thing. So how can I go about that? And I want to marry from back home in Lebanon, and people are they're kind of poor over there right now. So
Well, first of all, you make sure you protect yourself. So you're gonna wanna try and find ways to ensure that no matter who you marry, she can't use the government against you. Now, the truth is, depending on what country you live in or what state you live in, you're going to be limited as to how much you can implement with this. But you're going to have to just tie your camel regardless. That's the first thing. The second thing is just make a bit of peace, by the way, with the fact that women are attracted to men who are financially stable. And in your case, you're more than financially stable, which makes you even more financially attractive. It's like women begrudging men who like very beautiful women. It is what it is. Like men like beauty. Well, guess what? Women like men who've got money. Just you have to kind of like make a bit of peace with it. I understand the fear. The fear is she's going to marry me just for my money. But a woman could say the same thing. He's going to marry me just for my beauty. So don't overthink it, or don't spend too much time mulling on it. Just make sure that you've taken care of yourself from a legal point of view with regards to if things do go sideways, then she can't get her sticky fingers on the majority of what you have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. And then I will sign a prenup, and and all that.
If you're gonna do a prenup, then make sure you watch what's his name now? The lead attorney has a video on this. Do you know who the lead attorney is?
طبعا.
He has a video on how to make an ironclad prenup, because I know there's a lot of talk that prenups don't work. No, prenups do work if you do them the right way, ironclad, and you have to keep updating them as well. Watch his video, because I watched it and I was like, okay, so prenups can work if they're done this way. So just make sure you watch that video first.
All right. And another question. So I want to keep my finances separate between me and my wife. So I'm intending to have like multiple bank accounts, one for me, one for her, and one shared, for expenses. So what's a good a allowance for her?
Where are you bringing her from? Lebanon?
Yeah, to Texas.
Yeah, well, I mean, generally speaking, when it comes to rewards in general, that the psychology of rewards is little and often. Okay, that's why each year when Apple released their new iPhone, it's not really much different to the previous year, but it's like, I'm going to get it anyway because of this little new feature. Because if they released all the new features at once, they'd have nothing to release the following year after that. So the general psychology of rewards is little and often. Now, if you're bringing her from Lebanon, right now in Lebanon, they got a massive financial crisis, inflation crisis, right? So you take care of her, you make sure that she's comfortable. This is something that it's easy for you to do. But you need to keep an eye on what was her current quality of living. Okay, I'm going to improve her quality of living, but not too much straight away, because then she can start to get a bit heady. You're going to have to just gauge that yourself according to whatever her current standard was. So you improve her living, you give her a better quality of life, but little and often. Rewards should be little and often. Are you with me?
Yes.
Any other questions, Akhi?
Yeah. What's your experience with homeschooling your kids?
We did homeschooling for a number of years between 2005 and 2013, something like this. 2006, 2013. It's not easy. and your wife's going to be doing the majority of it. So she has to be organized. If she's not organized, if she's not on point, I mean, you're not going to be doing it. You're not going to be at home. It's going to be her who's doing it. So she needs to be organized. She needs to be on point. And as they get older, the curriculum gets harder. So I think the best person to speak to would be, I'm not too sure. I don't know anyone who has homeschooled their kids from 0 all the way to 16 or 18 until they go to college. I don't know one person. Usually, as the kids get older or more kids come into the picture, it becomes harder and harder to maintain that discipline. And I don't know anyone who's done it. I'm sure there is someone out there. I personally don't know them. So whoever that person is, you want to get in touch with them.
All right, sweet. Thanks, Mahdi. I appreciate it.
Habibi, look after yourself. Take care, Salah.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. 241 of you in here. Make sure you like the video. Jazakumullah khair. Akhi Nasir, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam, Habib. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. How you doing, my brother?
Man, I'm walking, talking, breathing. White light.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Good to see you again, Akhi.
Man, it's always good to see you. It's always good to see you. Alhamdulillah. Hey, a quick point to the brother that just spoke. If he wants to reach out to me, I know a community of brothers and sisters that have homeschooled from 0 to their kids are in their mid-20s, successfully working as well. And they're actually the people that I looked at when it came to homeschooling my daughter.
MashaAllah.
I think it's something that I mentioned when you and I were on the podcast together when we were talking about assets, right? And that kind of brought up that stir with the sisters on the live. That was one of the deal breakers for me when I was getting married, that the sister had to agree to homeschooling, right? And that was something I was looking for when it came to marriage. So I would say to a brother, if that is something, if that is something that you're looking for, something that you know you want to do with your kids, make that a part of the type of woman you look for. If it's that important to you. For me, it was. It was critical.
Alhamdulillah.
Right after that was it for me.
Shukran akhi. Jazakallah khair, Sheikh Nasser.
Another point. So look, Habib, you know I love you. I gotta nudge you though.
Of course. Bismillah.
I gotta. So on the situation that you read, and I can say unfortunately I've heard those type of situations too often with the work I do with sisters. It's a common issue.
Really?
Yeah, it really is. Especially with sisters that are divorcees.
Really?
Yeah, especially with sisters that are not all, but especially with sisters that are divorcees, and come out of the marriage with some insecurities, with that feeling of I'm not able to satisfy a man, needing that validation because the faulty thinking that I wasn't able to satisfy my previous husband. And so that validation fix from the other guy that comes in, i.e., let me do all I can to please him, i.e., fits the description of exactly what you said.
Got you.
So the one part I would say is obviously that sister needs to do some work, because, and this is the part where I would nudge you a little, and I think you know this is a stickler for me. It's just the point of the description of him being a coward.
Okay, go on. Bismillah.
And so I understand what you mean on a macro level, but the nudge I would have for you as my brother is to go a little bit deeper. And what exactly is it there that I know you see that you want brothers to change? And what stands out to me when I heard you reading it about this brother, because you can say he's a coward, and yeah, he can fit the definition, but it doesn't really give him or that sister something to work with. And I think what we both would agree on is, I think what I heard from that is a brother that lacks integrity. And that should be one of the key things any sister is looking for. And a key thing that every brother should want to build is integrity. That what I say I'm about, that life I say I'm living, whether it's deen or whether it's professionally, I'm living it. And so if he's married and believes in Allah and His Messenger, but he's sliding the sheets over here, there's a lack of integrity. And so that's the part that I think, and again, this is a bigger conversation, but this is the point of the why I have the nudge when it comes to saying that men are cowards, whether it be with polygyny or whatever it is. We lack in that moment that we have the attention of a man to give him the thing he needs to work on.
Well, the reason why I said he's a coward is we can make an excuse that if it happened once, like you found yourself in a situation, you're alone with a woman and you slipped into haram. But for it to happen over and over means you have consciously thought of the fact that, okay, I should approach the wali, or I should take that route of speaking to a sheikh and potentially having a wali appointed in her position, in his position, sorry. But for whatever reason, typically because you don't want to face that music, you don't want to, because it's hard. Like, I want to have to speak to the dad. I don't want to speak to the dad. No, that's all long. That's why I say it's cowardice, Akhi Nasser, if it's happening repeatedly over and over and over. If it happens once, I mean, it's very bad, but okay, it happened once. But for it to happen over and over the course of 12 months, and you're a practicing Muslim, these are practicing Muslims we're talking about here. Yani, where we have to draw the line somewhere. Are you with me, Akhi?
I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 100%. But the part where I would nudge you or push you is, what is that attribute that you think he's lacking? That's why, for me, what I think he's lacking is integrity. So my question to you is, what is that thing that brother, if he sat in front of you and you had the elevator speech to him for 11 seconds, what is the thing that you would say to him that he needs to adjust? Because if you tell him in 11 seconds he's a coward, great, you may have identified it properly, but he's leaving the elevator with what to work on.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
It's just like when a wife doesn't like the way her husband is communicating and she just calls him a jerk. If you just call him a jerk, you're not giving him anything to go in the other room and work on when he's upset with you. But if you say, I don't like the way you communicate, once he goes in the other room, he has something to, she's upset with me because the way I communicate, whether she's right or wrong, I know what it is she has an issue with. You get my point? Like, once he leaves that elevator, what does he have to say? Okay, Mahdi told me this. It's coming from him. I know I should listen to it.
I mean, it comes down to taqwallah at the end of the day, right? Fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why would you want to make this halal in the first place? Well, because I fear Allah. That's really the bottom line. So the advice is very simple.
There you go. That's the point. So you telling him or telling that sister, you're dealing with a man that has a lack of taqwa, right? A lack of consciousness and commitment to his Lord. Gives him something that I need to walk out of here and work on this. Right? By you telling him it's a coward. Is it accurate? Yes, it'll meet the definition. But by you,
it's not actionable advice. Is that what you're saying? It's not actionable.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Give him something actionable that he can leave and then implement. That's why I have that kind of pushback when it comes to the coward piece, because you, me, whoever it is, we have a moment with men who are trusting us, that believe in what we say, and they're being vulnerable because they're going to listen to us. And so you can give him some jewels that he'll listen to because it's coming from you.
I got you.
You see what I mean? He'll go out and do it versus he won't listen to other people.
So what message would you have for the brother? Because it's quite possible, Akhi, that he's going to see this. What message would you have for him?
To look at integrity. What I would say to him, and I look at it from a counseling, coaching lens, I would say that you are a fallible human being like the rest of humanity. And the issue, the way your fallibility expresses itself is in this area of integrity. And that's what you need to work on. Reality is, we know our Lord created us as fallible human beings. That's period. By design, we are fallible human beings. We're going to mess up. We're going to fall short. We know from life that we're fallible human beings. Nobody gets out of this life without making mistakes. So being fallible is a reality. The issue becomes, how does your fallibility express itself? Right? And that's what a sister should. Hence, my thing I would say to him is, Habib, your fallibility expresses itself in the level of integrity. That's an issue for you. What I would say to the sister is, do you really want to spend your life with a man whose fallibility is integrity? We're gonna
Oh,
all have some issues of fallibility because that's our design. But when it comes to marriage, what do you want to tolerate? Right? Do you want to tolerate a brother that has no integrity?
yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll pick this up from Castillo, who was like, "How you get him is how you lose him." That's what he said. Yeah, what's to say that he might not make the same mistake again post marriage? I mean, he's got a wife right now, and he's doing this with you. What if he marries you and does it with someone else, or even vice versa? You know?
Yeah. And that's again, like we're all gonna have fallibility. But the question becomes when you're about to get married, what is the cost of dealing with this particular person's fallibility? And do I want to pay that cost? And for how long? Right? Because it's short-sighted, instant gratification that I'm going to deal with the lack of integrity with this man. Because I get the short-term gratification of I get the validation and I get the sheet action. Right? But again, what's the long-term cost? That's short-term gratification. What's the long-term cost of marrying a man or sleeping with a man that lacks integrity? And you and I both know as men, one of the type of men we don't keep in our circle is men who lack integrity.
All sorts of chaos ensues from there, man.
Yeah,
all sorts
and
of
it
chaos.
costs you money.
And it costs you money as well.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, ain't nobody trying to lose money.
Shukran,
At least
Akhi.
that-
I appreciate you, Akhi.
Hey man, I appreciate you more, man. And look, appreciate the opportunity.
And by the way, where can the people find you, Akh?
Nasir Alamin on Instagram and on YouTube. Check me out.
Habibi. Shukran, Akhi Nasir. Take care, Akhi.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Guys, I got a whole bunch of you backstage here. Let me just tell you something. I'm prioritizing those with their cams on, even if they're coming at a later time. If your cam is on, you're getting prioritized. Abu Hanzala, salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Yeah, I just want to say real quick. I feel like people make it too complicated. I became Muslim when I was 23, and I was married when I was 24. And
They make what are they making complicated? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, just like there was a brother talking about like his family doesn't make recommendations, and he doesn't know anybody at the masjid and stuff like that. Like for me, my family's not Muslim, so I didn't have like anybody really like helping me. I just asked. I saw a girl at the masjid, and I talked to her brother, and got his contact information, and then like 2 months later, we were doing the nikah. So,
MashaAllah. Beautiful.
yeah. So I feel like people make it like too complicated. It's a lot easier if you just kind of do it in person. From my experience, but yeah, that was it.
I agree with you. And I appreciate that addition. Jazakallah khair, Abu Hanzana.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum, akhi. The brother makes a good point. 2 months from start to finish. You hear that? 2 months from start to finish, from the moment he met the sister to the moment he married her. Any additional time past that, too much information is bad information, guys. All right. Asaf, assalamu alaikum.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's going on, bro?
Bro, I started watching your channel about 3 months ago because I was like so lost and like, okay, where do I go with this marriage thing? And I talked to you about 3 months ago, and you recommended the vet guide from AbuAmerican.
AbuAmerican, yeah?
Yeah, and I read that book, the ebook, and it helped out a lot. And subhanAllah, since ingesting all that information and watching your channel, subhanAllah, like life's changed a lot. So I heard a guy coming in and asking about, how do I know if a girl's a gold digger? I feel like a lot of the shabab, a lot of the guys who come onto your live stream, and I used to be the same way, focus on the wrong things. They keep asking questions and not putting actual implementing work into their life. And I would say that, to be being 18 years old and where I'm at in my life specifically right now, it's almost like now I cracked the code. Now I see, how to be.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 18.
18. Okay, mashallah,
I'm
you're
18
young.
years old. Yeah, and now seeing like how my life's coming together with my business and with working out. So it all started from your channel when you said go to the gym, when you said start to work out, start to train. Ever since I started implementing the discipline, in scheduling my life, life has changed and the progress is skyrocketing. So for the lot of guys, instead of you asking questions that you already know the answer to, put the work in. Like, I don't understand why I keep hearing these questions, this, that, what if this? Nah, bro, just put the work in. You know what's the answer. But you just want to hear it over and over. You want to be motivated by Mehdi.
Yeah, no, I
want to
agree
be
with you. I
motivated
think
by
most
Mehdi.
people do know the answer to their
But
questions.
Mehdi's too nice. This is the thing. He's too nice. He's not going to, like, tell you, like, you know, I'm trying to say he's too nice. He's not going to, like, you know, scold you for that. He's just going to, like, answer your question and be nice about it and tell you to leave the stream. But I'm going to come on and tell you guys who are asking those questions that you already know the answer to. Stop asking the questions and put the work in. Once you start putting the work in, you're going to see the fruits of your labor. You're going to see it. So that's like that's what I wanted to say about that. And also I wanted to ask you a question or kind of make a point. So a lot of the times in your streams you say, okay, if you want to get married, just get married, right? But you know how the game is nowadays and how, you know, it's become much more of a tedious, complicated process. And it's not so easy such that, you know, I'm from Palestine, right? So in Palestine, it's like, if you were a farmer, you had a few crops and you had a hut, you get married off easily because, oh, you have like a little hut and you have your food or whatever. But now it's much more, you need a degree, you need all these things that, you know, parents or these regulate. So I would say, wouldn't you feel like there needs to be more of a realistic, there needs to be more realism to what you're saying in terms of getting married. Like, there's a lot of things that you have to be the kind of man, like, before you get married to anybody, and to get the kind of girl that you want.
Look, the bottom line is, as we've mentioned many times in the past, is that women's standards have increased over the years, particularly over the past decade, because they can afford to be fussy. Her life doesn't depend on getting married anymore. And because of that, she can afford to be fussy and dismiss men. Nearly 50% of women, I just quoted the stat, 45% of women will be single and childless by 2030. Women aged between 25 and 44. So yes, women are going to be holding out for longer because they can afford to be fussy. Now, I will say I've noticed that there's a change in the air. There's a lot of women who are jumping on this more traditional woman bandwagon, and I can see it. I can, like, just hearing random channels talking about it, not just channels in this sphere or in this space, random channels. So there is a change in the air, but yeah, all I'm saying is don't overcomplicate the issue, and certainly don't spend too much time talking to one sister. There's no need. You got too much information is bad information.
And you made a great point on one of your videos. I can't remember, but it's stuck in my head. It was like, you were saying that, you know, you have to be a man of high value, and I totally agree with you, right? A lot of
You don't have no. If you want to have options, then yeah. But here's where I draw the line: is you shouldn't have to be a man of high value to get a basic bint, an average sister. But it makes sense. Obviously, it's logical that if you're an above average man in one or more spheres, then you're going to have more options open and available to you. Are you with me?
Totally. You know, right now I'm in the process of getting engaged, and the conversation. I remember when you were like, you got to be honest with a girl. Always be honest. If she ever asks questions about would you ever get married to the second one, would you ever? And subhanAllah, women. A lot of brothers, like, you know, they'll try to like dodge the question or be like, yeah, you know, I'll never get married on you. I'll love you forever. But when you're honest with them, wallahi, like, they might show, right? They might show that like they don't like what you're saying, but they respect you so much for what the honesty that you're giving. A woman will prefer an honest man over a guy who's just gonna like simp and pretty much let them know what they want to hear. So you got to be a man of integrity and honesty, and be a man of sustenance and provision. That's what I've learned from your content, and a lot of the guys need to take that instead of taking all the, you know, other entertaining things, because that's what you're going to benefit from at the end of the day. But I also wanted to ask a question.
Go shoot, last one, bismillah.
Would you see an 18-year-old like me fit on no strings nikah? That's the question.
Well, if you are just as you have described yourself, well, what's the need for you to consider non-strings nikah? You were already talking to a sister for a conventional marriage anyway, so what's the point?
I would say if I wanted to do a second marriage, let's say I want to do a second marriage in the future.
I say to you, do the first one first, and then come have that discussion.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna use that app for sure, inshallah, after the first one. Also, I would say that a lot of guys spend like I would say the biggest advice I have for any of these guys here on this live stream that changed my life that I feel can help out with you is setting up a schedule in your life. Every single minute of your day track. Include your salahs, include the mandatory tasks you gotta do, your family time, your gym, and any free time is bad time. And that's what I've learned. Number two, surround yourself with a good group of friends. If you surround yourself with losers, I'm telling you right now, even if you don't want to be a loser, you're going to be a loser because the stench is going to come out onto you. So change your friends, get your schedule right, focus on your career, your job, your business. Also, I would say please your parents. Try to obey your parents as much as possible. No matter what you may disagree with them in, Allah Azza wa Jal commands you to obey them. And once you obey them, Allah Azza wa Jal is going to make you successful in this dunya and the akhirah. And I would also say start training. If you guys want to do Muay Thai, whatever, kickboxing, I don't care. I do Muay Thai personally. But I would say weightlifting, going to Muay Thai, it's really going to change your life. It's going to put that discipline in you. Start eating healthy. Start sleeping. It's just basic things. Once you do those basic things, it's like you just go on. You skyrocket from there, your progress. Instead of just sitting on the live stream all day and hearing literally nothing except what you want to hear. Right? And complaining about house sisters. And complaining, well, hold up, there's another thing.
Asaf, I've got to bring on another caller, my man. Jazakallah khair, akhi.
I got you, but just one more, I swear to God.
Go,
a lot of
shoot.
guys complain about how, women, they're not taking them and they don't want them. And Mahdi's right. If you want a basic bint and you just want to be basic, then you're going to get a basic girl. If you want to be a man of high value, you're going to end up getting a girl of your dreams. So, yeah, anyways, thank you so much, Mahdi. And I'll stick onto the live stream, inshallah.
All the best with the sister you're pursuing, akhi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yalla.
Take care. Assalamu alaikum.
Thanks, son.
All right, Tija, what's going on?
Assalamu alaikum, akhi.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. What's going on, bro? You look surprised.
I'm shy.
Yes, akhi, hit me. What's going on?
Anyway, my father is unfortunately a dayuth, and he lets my sister commit zina, and I have a problem with that.
What?
Yeah.
This is haram.
What are you talking about, bro?
Well, he just doesn't care, because he was just like, once you turn 18, I don't care what you do, to both of us.
Your dad's Muslim?
No.
Oh, he's not Muslim. Then he's not the youth, bro. He's just not Muslim.
Okay.
Where are you from originally?
We're Bengali Indian mix,
So, hold on. Are you making takfir on your dad?
What does that mean? Takfir.
So, does your dad identify as a Muslim?
No. I mean, no. Yeah.
Okay. So then,
Just non-religious.
What's your question?
Should I leave? Just as a matter of self-respect for myself, or should I just stay? Because I'm a student right now.
How old are you?
20.
Leave where? Leave what?
My house and just live by myself, or in a communal situation.
I don't understand. How is your dad? Okay, are you born Muslim?
No. Well, we're kind of just non-religious.
Okay, but hold on. You non-religious, but does your dad identify himself as a Muslim or not?
No.
What does he identify himself as?
Nothing.
So atheist.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, bro. What about your sister? What does she identify herself as?
Atheist.
Atheist as well?
Yeah.
So how did you come to the deen? MashaAllah.
I mean, I started watching Red Pill, Muslims.
Really?
Yeah.
This is
Andrew
crazy, bro. No way. Are you serious?
Yeah,
So
I was a big Andrew Tate fan.
When did you take your Shahada?
Oh, I'm here in America, so.
Yeah, but when did you take your testification of faith and become Muslim?
Oh, I haven't really done officially.
All right, well, let's do that right now. Repeat after me.
Okay.
Ashhadu.
Shahada.
Ashhadu.
Ashhadu.
An la ilaha.
An la ilaha.
Illallah.
Illallah.
Wa ashhadu.
Wa shahadu.
Wa ashhadu.
Wa shahadu.
Wa
ashhadu.
Anna.
Anna.
Muhammadan.
Muhammadan.
عبده
عبده
ورسوله.
ورسوله.
I bear witness
I bear witness
that there is no God
that
worthy of worship
there's no God worthy of worship
except Allah.
except Allah.
And I bear witness
And I bear witness
that Muhammad
Muhammad
is his slave and
is
final
his
messenger.
slave. Is his slave and final messenger.
Mabruk, bro. Habib, you're not Muslim. Welcome, Akhi. Welcome to the fold. Mabruk. Can we all give this guy Mabruk in the chat, please? Yeah, give our brother a big welcome. Alhamdulillah. Okay, man. Your name's Tija, yeah?
Yeah.
Tija. So what you need to do now, bro, this is my advice to you, okay? Because as a new Muslim, you've just embraced the religion. You want to focus on learning the basics of the religion. There's 5 pillars of Islam, and one of those pillars that we have to perform on a daily basis is the salah, praying 5 times a day on time, right? So what you want to do is you want to spend some time just understanding what are the basics of the religion. Take it easy on yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself. Take it easy and start with the salah, start with the prayers. This is what you need to focus on. As for this red pill content and all of that, bro, forget all that for now. It's all like it's just noise at this moment in time whilst you're a new Muslim.
Okay.
So focus on learning just the basics of the religion. Go to your local mosque, wherever that may be. Ask them, say, excuse me, can I please have a Quran? Is there someone who could, just teach me how to pray? I've just taken my Shahada on Mahdi Tijani's live stream on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. And then just learn the basics of the religion, inshallah ta'ala.
Okay.
Yeah. My man, shout out to you, bro. Do you have any other questions before I bring on another caller?
I mean, you never answered my first question. You're like, should I leave or not?
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I think no. I would say no.
No.
Just like you're just gonna have to firm it. Just like go work, save some money, and then when you're able to get on your own 2 feet, then inshallah.
The place I was like wanting to go, it's like communal living, so I wouldn't like pay. Like it's just kind of volunteer, and then they let you stay there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is not really the main concern for you right now. The main concern for you right now is just to learn the basics of the religion. That's the main concern for you.
Okay.
All right, Akhi?
Okay.
All right, my man. Look after yourself, Teja. Mabruk. Welcome.
Allahu Akbar.
Habibi. Salam alaikum. My guy. Who would have thought? Flipping. MashaAllah. Al-Bosni. Salam alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. كيف حالك مهدي؟
Alhamdulillah. What are you saying, huh?
I just want to say one thing about you, yeah. I come across your channel maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, yeah. So I went through videos.
Yeah.
So at the time I was negotiating with one lovely girl, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've said, listen, we can do some strings in the car, stuff like that, yeah. But obviously she was impressed after she saw your video, she blocked me. Yeah, well, and my kryptonite, obviously I'm into Iraqi girls only. So but lately it's very difficult. First to find Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah Sunni, and then to find this one is very difficult,
Okay, hold up a second. Let me just acknowledge this brother here. Abud, shout out to you, my man. Thank you for the $50 super chat. I appreciate it, Akhi. That's massive. Jazakallah khair, Akhi. Allahu Akbar. Welcome to Islam. Mahdi's content changes lives and brings wives. My guy. What a legend. Habibi, I appreciate you, Abud. Very generous super chat. Jazakallah khair, Akhi. Much appreciated.
Yes, bro. Yeah, man. So basically then this girl unblocked me a few weeks ago, and then she sent me the Dalil against Misyar and stuff like that, and against what you propagating.
She went all the way out of her way to unblock you just to send you the Dalil and then
yeah,
block
listen,
you.
she sent me she sent me, and obviously I was a bit scared, because it's a bit tricky situation. No, I mean,
Bro,
like,
have you been married before?
No.
Then why you want to do Misyar? You want to do conventional marriage?
I know myself. I have big appetite for women, but halal. You know what I mean? So I try to do it properly.
Oh, Asaf, my apologies, Akhi. I appreciate you, Asaf. Jazakallah khair. Thank you for the 50.
So I'm trying to do it properly, but I'm too picky. I'm I'm just, having my own issues.
Yeah, bro, you sound like you've got a lot going on in your mind.
Yeah, overthinking. Once I, it's no problem for me. I speak to a girl, she likes me, this and that. Then I speak to her parents. Then after I have some thoughts like, oh, maybe she's not the one, maybe, and I just.
There is no one, bro. There's just one of many. Remember that. You can quote me, Mahdi Tijani.
خير إن شاء الله.
Look after yourself, my
جزاكم الله
guy.
خير. بارك الله فيكم. السلام عليكم.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Hey, let's bring in our resident streamer, Bilal. Man, like
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What are you saying, huh?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the education system in this country because you brought up homeschooling earlier in the chat. Earlier in the.
Hey, is that what we're talking about now? Go on.
Yeah, it's basically like I think the education system in the UK is rubbish.
It's rubbish. Go on, Bilal. Brother Bilal's going to tell us why the education system is absolutely fat. I'm not swearing. Like I'm swearing. And he's going to give us a solution as well. Go for it, Bilal. Hit me.
So, but you impersonating me.
Go on, bro. Carry on. Just carry on.
So, I've been through the education system in this country. I'm 21 years old. I've been through like what you studied in primary school, and all we did was like sing songs from Bruno Mars and do like these stupid little plays.
Mars,
yeah, like sing these little songs like Twinkle Twinkle Star and all this rubbish and all this crap, and then do poetry and write descriptive stories about nothing, about things that don't exist and all this rubbish, and it's just bullshit, man. It's like why if I had kids, I wouldn't send them to school. I say bunk school.
So what are you saying? What's the solution, Bilal?
The solution is like because my cousins, they went to Morocco and they went to school in Morocco. They went to an international school in Morocco, and I'm thinking I would have had a better experience going there and learning Arabic properly and French properly. And I would.
Yeah, you know what it is? You know what it is, Bilal? I've got this mate, and this mate, he told me that everything's just completely just fat in the UK. It's just so fat. Yeah, and he said to me that he's got a mate who does a better job of doing the education thing. So he's like, you know what? Yeah, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna send him to my mate Ben, and he's gonna do a better job of the whole thing. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, mate. I'm just gonna take the kids out and I'm just gonna just shove them in some like next place with Ben and John. You know what I mean?
Well, I wouldn't even homeschool my kids. I just tell them, look, you got to have in this country, you got to have GCSE. If I had kids, I should say, in this country, you got to have GCSEs and A levels, right, to get a job. You don't have to go to uni. You just go have GCSEs and A levels. Like I just have GCSEs and A levels. I don't want to go to no uni. So if I had kids,
you don't even need GCSEs to get a job, but yeah.
Well, you kind of do to get a good job. I mean, so get your GCSEs and A levels. But just sort of bunk school a little bit and just ignore them a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean bunk school and do what, bruv? Smoke a spliff? Smoke a blunt?
No, not even that. Just like instead of like because instead of listening to every word the teacher says.
Bilal, did you marry that sister from Congo or
Malawi?
Yeah, what happened to her, bro?
She said she's coming to the UK soon.
What? All the way from Malawi?
Yeah, she said she's got family in the UK and that she's coming to the UK.
Get out. Yes, son. She's coming to see you, yeah?
Well, hopefully, but she said that last year, so I don't know if she's going to come. She says she's got problems with visa and all this.
Oh, you can't make this up. She said she was going to come last year, but she's having problems with visa. Bruv, you can't make this up. Are you kidding me right now?
No, I'm not making this up. Why? She has problems with visa.
So what other sisters have you been talking to?
There is a sister actually that you recommended to me from South Africa by Instagram.
Okay, yeah, go on. How did that work out?
Yeah, it's going well actually. I'm speaking.
Define well. Are you married yet?
No.
So it's not going very well then. How long you been talking?
Just a few months.
It's been going terribly then. What do you mean just a few months, bruv? Just a few months. Bruv, that's just a few months too long. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Bilal, Habibi, I appreciate you coming on, my man. Look after
Yeah,
yourself.
thank you very much, Mahdi. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy your day, inshallah, and well, the day is gone, so
take care, bro.
I hope you enjoy.
Man, like Bilal. All right, we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. Make sure that you like the video on your way out. Barakallahu fikum. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.